watching a movie. It was a war movie, and I found that I was thinking, you know what? I'm attracted to men of character with the virtue of fortitude. You like when you look at a movie about soldiers, oftentimes they're under fire or in pressure situations and are very courageous. But I was watching this movie, and there were instances that would be considered fortitude, where they were putting themselves at risk to save one of their team members. But then there was also a scene at the end, it was all Hollywood, where a guy goes riding in on horseback, shooting at a bunch of tanks and everything else, and it's like, that's not fortitude, that's foolishness.
That goes to the other angle of what you were talking about. There's smart fortitude.
That's not reasonable.
Reasoning, yeah, right.
So it just in that movie, it gave me an example of what is and what isn't fortitude.
Right. I think in two, so you take that definition and you apply it. So what do you do in your day-to-day? And I guess for me, sometimes I apply it at work, and you talk about uncomfortable situations, and yeah, you've been there, and then you also say, sometimes people question themselves and say, should I have said something? Maybe I shouldn't have, and you get all nervous. And oftentimes I find out that as long as you're trying, and oftentimes, for me at least, when I'm doing God's will, it seems like I don't question myself of whether I should have or shouldn't have. And all of a sudden it just flows. And I think that's how the Holy Spirit works with that. You get that grace of fortitude, and all of a sudden it just comes out. That situations at work before where, I would question, should I have said that? And I don't. And then all of a sudden somebody will come into the room and they'll ask some random question, and all of a sudden I start answering. It has nothing to do with work. It has to do with their personal life. And all of a sudden all this knowledge will start flowing out of me. I don't even know where it comes from. And I think that comes from a good prayer life and all the other things that the church has to offer through the sacraments, things like that.
I think too, it comes from humility as well, like a certain willingness to be open to what God's trying to do through you. Like courage and fortitude are also part of the fruits of the Holy Spirit, as we draw upon those graces from our baptism and also confirmation, when we have those gifts sealed within us. And I think a lot of people forget about that. Like, I have this within me, especially confirmed and baptized Catholics. It's almost like a present that they forget to open sometimes. It's there, but we can draw from it, and we just got to be open to it. But I think what you're saying is right. It's almost like sometimes in moments of courage, it's like a switch flips on.
Right.
It's like you're locked in, you're in the zone, and you can't describe where this is coming from, and that's godly courage and godly fortitude, like you're talking about, versus reckless, like swinging swords and shooting, and it's just not quite it. But
horse and tanks.
Right. Bringing a knife to a gunfight, that kind of stuff.